Hi everyone, welcome back to Monday Medz. I hope your week is off to a great start. Happy Monday to you all. Yes, it's Monday. It's the last Monday of March, the last one. There are 5 Mondays in March, and yeah, this is the fifth and last Monday. Where have the time gone? So yes, I know you've been enjoying um, the features or the feature on women's health. And yes, many of you have given me lots of feedback. We definitely need to talk more about pregnancy, or we have to talk about more about women's health as it relates to pregnancy and how to, the foods to eat and all of that. So we will do that in April. Yes, April looks like it will be packed. So we'll talk more about women's health in April. As many of you know, March was very busy, or has been very busy, especially as we talked about vaccines and all of that. And yes, look out for another video this week as we'll talk more about the COVID vaccine and all of that. All right, so today we will do part two. We'll do part two of talking with your teens, or talking with your girls and teens about growing up. We'll do part two. And like we did in part one, if you have not seen part one, definitely check it out. I will not reiterate or will not repeat myself. What I'll do though, I'll add to that section that we talked about dealing with menstrual cycle. One of the things that I would encourage you as a mother, as an aunt or a grandmother or a caregiver, guardian of a girl or a teen, is that you help her to know when to expect her period, her monthly period. And so yes, you can show her how she can track it on the calendar. You can show her how she can take note of when it starts and take note of when it ends, especially the first few months, so you can see how regular her cycle is. All right, so that's one thing I know I'd left out. And as for those of you who have watched it, you can realize that I did cover it, not just for girls, but many of the things that we talked about, what girls should be doing, that boys should be doing also. So yes, when we talk about boys' health, I won't need to go into all of that because I would have talked about it as we relate to girls. And yes, some of those things like, brushing your teeth and showering, bathing, and yes, encourage them to shower, to use water, not just to use water outside, but also not just to use water inside, as in drinking water, enough water, but encourage them to shower daily. I know many teens don't like to shower, but encourage them to shower daily. All right, so today we are doing part two, and part two is about talking with your teen, talking with your girls about their emotions, talking with them about how they feel, talking about sexuality. Yes, so that's what we'll be talking about today. So keep watching. So what do we need to do as we talk, or know as we talk to our girls and teens about their emotions and sex or sexuality? First and foremost, you have to, as a parent or guardian or aunt or grandmother, you have to learn to listen. Learn to listen. I know you want to give them information, and yes, we've been talking about telling them this, telling them that, but you have to learn and develop how to listen to them. Allow them to talk, allow them to share, and you listen. You listen. Because yes, it's in listening you'll know how to relate to them best. You will know how to relate to this child that you have. You'll know how to impart information to them when you listen to them. And so that's number one. That's actually the first thing I would tell you in relating to their emotions. I know especially in the teen years, they have their friends, and many of them are, they are focused on what their friends think, what their friends want to do, and all of that. But yes, listen to them. It's in you listening to them that you can definitely impart wisdom. And the next thing I would want to tell you or encourage you to do is to develop, like we said early in part two, develop a relationship with them early. Don't wait until they're teens to start talking with them or to listen to them. Yes, develop a close relationship with them and keep that communication ongoing. So, talking with them about their emotions. Yeah, how are you? How was your day? How was school? I mean, now many of them are at home, online virtual school. Yes, how was school? What did you learn today? Engage them in a conversation. Not just when you want to tell them something or impart information, but engage them in a conversation. So yes, and also as your kids grow, as your girls grow, one of the first things you should encourage them to tell you. Don't keep any secrets from you. Definitely tell them to express their emotions. You want to know what they're feeling, what they're going through. Also, you want to encourage them, and you want to definitely tell them that their body is theirs. Yes, they have rights, and yes, you got to encourage them to be able to stand up for their rights, even though they're children. Yes, they have rights. However, they should be governed by you as a parent. Also, let them know that yes, it is okay for them to say no, and yes, to learn to say no, especially in the relation, in the in on the point or the aspect of sex. Yes, let them know that their body is precious. Yes, their body is precious, and they should be able to say no, even if it is to a relative. Let them know it's inappropriate. It is not right for them to be touched or coerced into sex, no matter who it is, whether it is their father, their brother, their cousin, whether it is their uncle. And these are men, right? Male relatives, but also it's sad, but yes, we do have to mention it. Even female relatives can be at risk, and yes, so you got to give them that empowerment. You got to give them that training to let them know that yes, it is okay for them to say no to sex, no to sexual abuse, no to incest. That is their relative wanting to have sexual relationship with them. Teach them these things from early. And one of the things I must say here is that if you were sexually abused, you need to deal with your abuse before you can actually relate to them on a healthy and positive note. I know that many times it may be uncomfortable for you to share with them talking about sex and even talking about your past experiences, but you have to, whether it is you need to seek counseling, you need to talk with a professional, talk with a friend who you trust, to work through these issues of relating to sex. Yes, it may be difficult for you to relate to them about your own experience growing up, and sometimes young people need to know that yes, they're not alone, that this is normal for them to feel this way, that somebody went through something that they're going through. They're looking for connection. They're looking for being able to know that it is normal. It is these feelings that they have, they're normal. And so yes, you can share some of your experiences with them, but be careful in how you say or you share them, because sometimes they tend to push it back at you. And if you have not resolved that in your own personal life, it can be a problem for you, and you may end up lashing out at them because you did not resolve that in your own personal life. As we talk about emotions and encouraging children and teens or teen girls to express their emotions, another thing that you can do is to use teachable moments. So say for instance you're watching the TV, you're watching the news, or you're watching a movie, or you're watching a program, whether it is a religious program or it's a secular program, whatever. There are times when advertisements come up, or there are times when a scene in a movie come up, that you can actually use that as an opportunity to talk with them about some issues that you know that it's everyday issues, and maybe it is that you never got to talk with them about that before, so this would be an opportunity for you to talk with them. As for instance, in the news here in Jamaica about 2 months ago, and I want to do a video on that very soon. There 2 or maybe 3 months ago, there was a news item or a debate in the House of Representatives or in Parliament that they want to give girls, young girls or teen girls, the opportunity and the right to do an abortion, have an abortion without the consent of their parents. And as you know, for those of you who have been watching me for years, or checking out our videos on Monday Medz, you know that abortion is one of those issues that I definitely do not promote. And I was very outraged by the Member of Parliament, Juliet Cuthbert Finn. She wanted Jamaica to take a stance and to go in that direction for our teen girls. And so that would have been an opportunity for you as a woman, as a mother, as a caregiver of a daughter, to ask her, to talk with her and see what she thought about that. And definitely, yes, children have rights. However, as we see more and more, the government is moving away from the rights that parents have to to take care of their children and to guide their children. And I will tell you, it is still your right, it is your God-given right to take care of your children, to train them up in the right way. Yes, Proverbs said, Solomon said in Proverbs 22 verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go. I would say train up a child in the way she should go, that when she's old she'll not depart from it. And so yes, talk with her about sexuality, talk with her about her body, and don't shame her about her body or sexuality, because so many times as girls growing up, many of us were shamed. We thought that sex was something bad, and so we don't talk about it. But you got to encourage your girls to talk about how they feel, their sexuality, talk about whether or not they have a boyfriend, talk with them about sex before marriage, and what your beliefs are, and not just your beliefs, but also according to God, what he laid down for the Christian beliefs, what he laid down for us, and encourage them to wait for marriage. Let them know sex is not running away. Yes, they will feel all of those sexual urges, they will feel the need to be loved, yes, but let them know that men exchange sex for love and women exchange love for sex. So them wanting that desire to be loved and giving sex in return for that love is not worth it, because so many times as women, so many times we can get hurt by looking for love in the wrong places. But encourage their fathers, even if you're not with their father. Encourage the father of this girl to be that, fill her up with that love or acceptance, security. Not having sex with his daughter, no, that is wrong, we know that. But encourage them to develop that friendship, that relationship with their daughters, that healthy relationship with their daughters, that they will not be seeking to find love and fulfillment in another man. But encourage them to tell their daughter that she's beautiful, because coming from him, it's priceless. It's worth so much more coming from him than you. But at the same time, mothers, you definitely need to tell your daughters she's beautiful. As we wrap up today talking about teens and girls and how to relate to them with their emotional health and their sexuality, one of the main things I want us to remember is that these children belong to you. They belong to you, and it is your God-given right, God-given duty to protect them, to take care of them, and to guide them. And so take this challenge that I'm giving you to make sure that you protect them with all that you know and all that you can in protecting these beautiful women. There's so many, these beautiful young women. There's so many things that are happening in our world to our girls, and it is disheartening to know what's happening, that many of them are abused, not just in Jamaica, but all over the world. Girls are marginalized and they're abused. And so it is my challenge to you as a mom, challenge to you as an aunt, challenge to you as a grandmother, challenge to you as a caregiver to protect and care for these girls, or take care of this this child that is in your care. I pray that you'll have a wonderful week, everyone, and God be with you. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and follow us on all our social media platforms.